How gentle parenting is failing to prepare children for school. Recent reporting has revealed a troubling trend. Increasing numbers of children are beginning formal education without basic practical skills. Many struggle to hold a pencil, use cutlery, manage toileting independently, or even identify their own name. Despite government pledges, such as Prime Minister Keir Starmer's commitment to ensure that 3/4 of 5-year-olds are school-ready, current figures fall well short. Nationally, fewer than 7 in 10 children meet readiness standards, with rates dropping sharply in economically disadvantaged areas. Excessive exposure to screens is often cited as the culprit, and it undoubtedly plays a role in delaying physical and emotional development. However, focusing solely on technology obscures a broader cultural change. Adults are increasingly hesitant to impose boundaries or enforce rules. Modern parents face relentless expectations. They are expected to be constant sources of stimulation, education, emotional regulation, and enrichment. Parenting is framed as an all-determining force. Do it wrong, and a child's future is permanently damaged. Do it perfectly, and success is guaranteed. This narrative leaves parents anxious and fearful of making mistakes. At the same time, wider societal shortcomings are rarely addressed. Safe outdoor spaces for unsupervised play are disappearing. Community networks that once supported families have eroded. Economic pressures that require dual full-time incomes are accepted as unavoidable, even as they strain family life. When children struggle, blame is placed squarely on parents rather than on these systemic issues. The idea of shared responsibility has largely vanished. Into this environment has stepped gentle parenting. In theory, it promises emotionally secure children raised without intimidation. In reality, it often produces parents paralyzed by the fear of upsetting their child. Rules are relaxed, misbehavior overlooked, and immediate emotional comfort becomes the overriding goal. A child's distress is treated as something to eliminate, not work through. Screens become the natural solution. For exhausted parents trying to avoid conflict while keeping children occupied, digital devices offer an easy escape. When discipline is discouraged and constant emotional validation is required, technology fills the gap. Parents are now expected to calmly negotiate limits with children at all times, validating every feeling while maintaining order. Yet anyone who has tried to reason with a toddler knows how futile that can be. Young children do not learn self-control through endless negotiation. Basic behavior, coordination, and focus must be taught. Physical and cognitive skills develop through repetition, correction, and inevitable frustration. Learning to write or follow instructions involves struggle. Increasingly, however, frustration itself is treated as harmful. Discipline is equated with oppression, leaving adults trapped between the demand to keep children perpetually content and the necessity of preparing them for social life. Schools are left to deal with the fallout. Teachers encounter children unfamiliar with routines, boundaries, or authority. Many have not learned to listen, wait their turn, or accept guidance. These habits are formed early and reinforced through consistent adult leadership. Something that depends on a shared understanding that adults are allowed to lead. That understanding is eroding. Extreme permissiveness has produced unintended consequences. Children are encouraged to view discomfort as injustice rather than as a normal part of learning. Early in life, children need to discover that the world does not revolve around them. Rules may be inconvenient, but they serve a purpose. Constant affirmation may feel reassuring, but it does not teach that competence comes from effort, and confidence from overcoming difficulty. Without this lesson, children may feel validated, but they are ill-prepared for life beyond the home. Stella O'Malley is a psychotherapist and best-selling author, and the founder and director of GenSpect, an international organization promoting a balanced approach to sex.